What if I told you the key to fluent, natural sounding American English isn't just about saying the right words, but how you say them? Many English learners focus only on pronunciation, making each word clear, crisp, and correct, but still sound slightly foreign when they speak. The missing ingredient is rhythm, the hidden layer of English that native speakers use instinctively, but few learners are ever taught. Think about it this way. When you listen to a favorite song, it's not just the lyrics that stick in your head, it's the beat, the flow, the pauses that give the words life. English works in exactly the same way. Without rhythm, your sentences sound flat, robotic, or even confusing. With rhythm, your words suddenly become smooth, expressive, and natural. In today's episode, we're going beyond typical pronunciation drills to uncover the music of American English. Together, we'll explore why rhythm matters more than you think, how it instantly changes the way people understand you, and, most importantly, how you can practice it every day until it becomes second nature. So get ready, because once you unlock rhythm, your English will never sound the same again. When most learners think about improving their English, they imagine drilling sounds or memorizing vocabulary. But here's the truth. Rhythm often matters more than perfect pronunciation when it comes to sounding natural. A small mispronunciation might still be understood, but if your rhythm is off, the entire sentence can feel awkward or even confusing. Think about a time when you listened to someone speaking English with a very flat delivery. Even though every word was correct, it felt tiring to follow, right? That's because our brains are wired to expect certain beats in speech. American English, especially, has a musical pattern that helps listeners predict and process information quickly. Without rhythm, the listener has to work harder and your message loses impact. Real world miscommunication happens when rhythm breaks down. For example, stressing the wrong word, like saying, I did it, instead of I did it, can completely change meaning or emphasis. Similarly, speaking with equal stress on every syllable may make you sound robotic, and the listener might misinterpret where your focus lies. The magic of rhythm is that it keeps people engaged. It's like tapping along to a beat. You don't even realize you're doing it, but it holds your attention. Master this, and suddenly your English becomes not just clear, but captivating. To truly sound natural in American English, you need to understand its unique rhythm. English is what linguists call a stress-timed language. This means that the timing of a sentence is based on stressed syllables rather than giving equal time to every syllable. In contrast, many other languages like Spanish or Vietnamese are more syllable timed, where each syllable is spoken with roughly the same duration. That's why learners from those backgrounds often sound a little off in English, even when their grammar is perfect. So, how does this rhythm actually work? It starts with distinguishing between content words and function words. Content words like nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs carry the main meaning, so they are stressed. Function words like the, is, and, of are usually unstressed and spoken more quickly or lightly. This creates a natural flow where the important beats stand out and the smaller words simply fill in the gaps. Here's a simple demonstration. Compare I did it with I did it. The stress completely changes what you're communicating. In the first, you're emphasizing that you were the one who did it. In the second, you're emphasizing the action itself. Same words, totally different rhythm, totally different meaning. Understanding and practicing this pattern is the first step toward aligning your speech with the way native speakers naturally communicate. Now that you understand how rhythm works, the next step is practice. And the good news is you don't need complicated tools, just a few proven techniques. The first and most powerful is shadowing. Listen to a native speaker, maybe a podcast, a TV series, or even this very video, and repeat immediately after, imitating not just the words, but the music of their speech. Focus on the highs and lows, the pauses, and the stressed beats. It's less about saying every word perfectly and more about matching the rhythm. Another essential tool is the reduction hack. Native speakers often shorten or blur sounds in everyday phrases. For example, going to becomes gonna, and want to becomes wanna. These reductions aren't lazy, they're rhythmic shortcuts that keep the beat flowing. If you insist on pronouncing every word fully, you'll sound stiff and unnatural. Finally, practice with common sentence patterns. For example, questions in English often rise in intonation while statements usually fall. Try repeating simple patterns like, "Are you ready?" Rise. Or, "I'm ready." Fall. Once you master the pattern, apply it to longer sentences. These drills aren't about memorization, they're about training your ear and mouth to move with the natural rhythm of English. With consistent practice, your speech will start to flow instead of sounding forced. Rhythm is the backbone of fluent English, but intonation is the soul. It's what transforms flat sentences into meaningful, expressive communication. Without intonation, your speech can sound robotic, even if your grammar is perfect. With it, you can convey emotion, attitude, and subtle shades of meaning that go far beyond the words themselves. In American English, rising intonation often signals a question, uncertainty, or curiosity. For example, "You're coming tonight" naturally rises at the end. Falling intonation, on the other hand, shows certainty, finality, or confidence, like in "Yes, I'm coming." These patterns aren't just rules, they're cues that help your listener instantly understand your intent. Intonation also carries emotional weight. A rising falling pattern can show sarcasm. A soft rise can indicate politeness, and a sharp fall can express annoyance or authority. For example, "really" can sound excited, doubtful, or annoyed, depending on your intonation. Here's a simple exercise. Record yourself saying the same sentence 3 different ways: happy, serious, and sarcastic. When you play it back, you'll notice how the rhythm barely changes, but the intonation completely transforms the message. Mastering intonation gives your English a human touch. It makes you not just understood, but felt. And that's the difference between sounding like a textbook and sounding like a native. Here's the best part. Mastering rhythm and intonation doesn't require extra hours of study. It's about weaving practice into your daily routine. Instead of just listening to English passively, start paying attention to the beat of conversations, movies, or podcasts. Ask yourself, which words are stressed? Where does the voice rise or fall? By doing this, you'll start training your ear naturally. You can also leverage AI tools and language apps to get personalized rhythm feedback. Some platforms now let you record your voice and instantly compare it with native speakers. This feedback loop is powerful. It helps you notice the small details you'd otherwise miss, like misplaced stress or flat intonation. But above all, remember this: fluency is not about perfection, it's about progress. Even native speakers slip, mumble, or change rhythm depending on the situation. The key is to keep practicing and celebrating small wins, like when someone understands you the first time without asking, "Sorry, what did you say?" Your English journey is ongoing, and rhythm is the secret ingredient that will make your speech shine. Don't just aim to be correct, aim to be captivating. If you found these techniques helpful, don't stop here. Practice them today, and you'll feel the difference in your next conversation. And if you want more practical tips to level up your English, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon, and share this video with a friend who's also learning. Your journey to authentic, natural sounding English starts now. So let's keep going together.